afternoon. Let's see if we have anybody. Hiya, Dorothy. Maybe Pauline's trying to get on and she's actually called me instead. Hiya, Jude. Hi. I've got coffee today, not gin. It's too early for gin for me. Right, I don't know if you noticed what I'm calling this. Hiya, Sarah. I'm pretty sure. I said I would do it slightly different, so I'm not going to do a what's on my work desk. What I am going to do is, hiya Sarah, hiya Jean, Bev. Hiya Bev, not seen you for ages. Valerie, hi Ali and me. Hi Mary. So yeah, so what I decided I'm going to do on these extra ones, today I'm going to do the WIP storage bag because I need one. Well, I don't need one, I've got 5. I want one. Hiya Mary. So I decided to make myself a new one because the other day, yesterday was it? I think it was yesterday, I made my retreat notebook bag in the Tulip Pink Limeworks. And obviously I need, hiya Hazel, hiya Julie, I obviously need a new WIP storage bag to go with it. It's just got to be done. So I'm going to make one of them today. Hiya Sue. Inside I use the blue, it's upside down of course it is, so I'm actually this afternoon I'm going to look into making my own. Hiya Bev and Marilyn, Caroline. I'm not going to keep saying this because I'm hello everyone. So I'm going to make my own like a sewing journal. I'm going to have a go anyway, so I'm going to look into that this afternoon. I did take January off from Achanda, but I've noticed that I'm on the 5th, so I have still got to design something new. I've got things in mind, so hiya Jean, hiya Anne. So I'm going to make a WIP storage bag to go with this. But first, let me just put you down a little bit. I've got some new fabrics in. And before I even do that, I'm just going to tell you what else I've been doing. On Tuesday, when I showed you, can't see me now, when I showed you my hiya Margaret machine cover for the Stella Air, I forgot to show you this, which I made to go with it. When you've got, when you start getting your embroidery designs, you end up with loads of USBs. So I thought, nice for storage and to keep with the machine, and obviously it's all matching. So I quilted it on the Stella Air with the Emily Scott edge-to-edge quilting. Hi Michelle, it's your birthday soon, I'm making you a card later on. So I decided to make myself a storage case for it. Now this is done from my needle threader keeper, and I've just altered the size of it to obviously suit the USBs. So if you've got something smaller, obviously you can make your own. So that is my case. I forgot to show you that on Tuesday. Last night I finished Desmond Donkey. I've done all the free motion stitches on there, if you can see around the ears, well all the way around it really. Me and Sharon did this back in the summer, and it's applique, and I just needed to do the free motion on it, so I did that last night. So that's ready to make into a cushion. I don't know if our Angie's on, but Angie, that's going to be for you because she adopts a donkey. And yesterday I made myself a new sewing pal, Meat Buttons, so called because he's got little button eyes. This is another Tilda. Oh, thank you Sarah. I do like Tilda's patterns, you know, sometimes in between. Make the needle thread keeper, but we'll make yeah, you'll want to use quite a few of them, I'm sure. Hiya Lynn. I took note of what you said, Lynn, and I've not done it on a Saturday, so I've done it on a Friday. I thought they were having a few days in between, so gives us all something to look forward to in between meeting each other up. I do feel like we're meeting each other up. So yeah, I do like the Tilda patterns in between. Hiya Pauline. In between making long projects, it's nice to just make a nice quick one. And this one went together really quickly, and I just thought, I can chat to him. And I know you all know I lost Molly month before, in November. Still miss her greatly, and I will let you know that we are looking into maybe getting another one. I'm still hurting very, very much. Mark's hurting, but his way to deal with it is to get another one. So we are looking at a little dog de Bordeaux in Essex. So he may become a new part of the sewing room. You never know. I will keep you informed on that. Oh, Lanzarote, Patricia. Is it warmer than here? Thank you, Bev. I like him. So you may see more of Buttons. I can't bring myself to stick pins in him. I just can't. I think he's a bit big anyway for sticking pins in, but he's going to be alongside me in my sewing journey. So, right, so that's Buttons. Next on the agenda, I've got some new fabrics. And obviously, it's still cold, very cold. So, we've got some sweatshirting. Oh, it's very hot. Oh, I could do with some of that in my old bones. Actually, talking about bones, I found my x-rays from my operations in 2000. And no, it weren't. It was in 1998. I'm going to show you them. Wish I was in the sunny land. Oh, yeah, Michelle, let's go together. When all this is done, a girls' holiday in Lanzarote with Patricia. Are you up for it, Patricia? Right, so yeah, what were I on about? Oh, my x-rays. And I thought you might be interested to see them. So if I think on, I'll show you them on Tuesday. Quite interesting. Right, so this is Architects. Is it Architects? Architects. Yeah, I think it's Architects. Anyway, it's a whatchamacallit, organic. It's a fleece back. Oh, I can't tell you how soft it is. It is so soft. You can see, can't you? Really, really soft. This is the denim colour. I ordered 3 new colours, watching from a very, very cold and wet Costa Canada. What was that, Calida? Sounds like a pun. Are we all going? Yay! That'll be a fab holiday. It'll be like being on retreats again. Absolutely, it's a date. But like Shirley Valentine, yeah. I think we'll be up for the higher craft all the way. Oh, wouldn't that be nice? Oh, yeah. Oh, crafting holiday. Yeah, perfect. So, yes, these have gone on the website. Mark's on the ball today. Hiya, Laura. Hi, sweetheart. Laura, we've got some new sweatshirts in, so we'll have some more South Bank sweaters coming. Oh, Oliver, new jogging suit for our all. Would you like that? Laura, wait while you see the next one. So we've got it in denim. And if I got one for the boys, I had to get one for the girls. So we got one in rose. And this is the inside of the rose. You can see it's a lovely soft fleece back. That's also on the website. And these are supposed to be the colours to go with it for the rib. Now, I don't think it looks lovely. Yes, it's lovely and warm. You'll love it, Laura. Our Laura's she's a lizard. She likes to be warm. So, yeah, so we got that's the denim. Doesn't look anything like it, but I think it will go all right with it. It will be a contrasting colour. And that is the pink. So we've got the ribs on the website as well. Then I got some new grey Architects jersey. This is just a lightweight, light grey, lovely cotton jersey. It's got some spandex in it. That's on the website. So I may make some t-shirts up with that because it is really soft. So that's another one. And then the last one. Oh, it's gorgeous. Absolutely love this. It is a t-shirting, so it's got stretch to it. Again, it's an organic one, Architects. And it says organic cotton certified by CU. Yes, Architects. This one is Sparkly Feathers, digital design for you by Poppy. It's absolutely stunning. Look at that. Can't wait to use that. Some projects coming with that definitely soon. I'm going to do some dressmaking as well on the channel, so watch out for that. So that's the fabrics. Right, now what I've been doing, just have a drink of my coffee before it goes cold. Oh, don't stay warm long in here. Right, so I'm going to put you so you can see my cutting table. I might have to raise you up a little bit. I should do. Right, just before I came on, you'll never cease to amaze me. Why is that, Valerie? What have I done? Right, just before I came on, I was quilting. Oh, good. Yeah. I may even start doing different ones, so I will put whether it's dressmaking or like a project. But I do like dressmaking. This is the South Bank sweater in a cable knit. Can you see? Yeah, you can just about see it's a cable knit. Well worn, this one. So I've been on the old Stella, and I showed you these fabrics I got for Christmas. These are the Line Works by Tulip Pink. I've got some more fabrics coming by Tulip Pink, but I'll talk about them after. You can see I've done edge to edge quilting. Now, how it works is this is the big frame, a 16 by 9 monster hoop. Your work rate. I love what I'm doing though, Valerie. So this one, what I've done is I've centered it so that I'm just stitching where I want to, and I've gone all the way across the width of it. And then I didn't have time, but I'm going to do the bottom as well. So I've got 1/2 metre all quilted, ready for whatever projects I want. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take it out of the hoop. So these are magnetic. I'll just pop them out of the way. Don't put them together when you haven't got the in-between bits on them. So if you can see on the back, all that side is quilted, but this isn't. So I'm going to cut from... Could we do a sweatshirt sew together? Definitely. Yeah, not a problem. We could even, I don't know how many of you out there have got crickets or scan and coats or silhouettes. We could do designing a t-shirt and doing the vinyl on it and then stitching it together. What about that? I have got the Janome cover stitch, so mind you, we don't need it for that, do we, unless you're going straight sleeves. So yeah, definitely, we'll do that. Yeah, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut from this side and leave that side so I can put that back on and finish it, because I'll do book covers and things with it, may even do my new journal in it. So I've got a lot of my bits and pieces cut out. I've got my pattern. Just for those of you who can't remember, that is the WIP storage bag. I will show you one of mine because I have got about 5 that I'm using at the moment. This is one of them. So this has got my hexagons in, I can see from the front there. Double zip, and then on the inside this comes out and I've got my pieces in there. So I've got, like I said, I've got about 5 different ones on the go now with all the different projects in. So I can just pick up and go. So that's a recap of what that is. I'll get my zips out because I need them for the project. So what I'm doing at the moment is I'm cutting out all the bits, and to put the letters on what they are, I'm just using some, I'm going to get to cricket at some point. Yeah, wise Michelle, the thing with the cricket is you need to have a laptop. With the Brother Scanner Cut, it's independent of a laptop, but they both do the same job. I tear a little bit off, put the letter of the piece I've cut and stick that onto the fabric, just to save myself getting confused. But I did cut out some of the pieces beforehand, which are here, because these are going to be for the quilted pieces. So I need a main fabric 10 by 5 by 8 for the back of the case, and the wadding 10 by 5 by 8, but I've got those together already. So let's find piece B, which is the lining, and I can cut that the same as that, just to save a little bit of time. And it fits on lovely. Actually, if I do it that way, I might be able to fit the gusset on the side, so that would be better when I do that. Right. So I'm just going to cut this freehand. Like I say, I'm leaving all the extra bits on because I want to put it back into the machine and finish quilting it. Mark told me to ask you as well whether you'd be interested in doing a sew along. Like if you want to do it with me, maybe you get the pattern beforehand. Hiya Mags, Janet. Hiya, Janet, bless you. I think it could be a Wi-Fi way it's going on and off. Just see what it's like today and let me know. Right, so these are my A and B pieces. So that's my main, which is quilted already. So what I need to do is get a bit of my tape. It's just masking tape. This is the quilted one, but it doesn't have to be. So this is going to be and my piece B is already done. So that's them two. The next one I need, I'll just move a bit of stuff out of the way, is the 10 by 4 inch back gusset. So I've already done that in, yep, that's it, in the lining. What I've done is I haven't used the best fabric for the lining because obviously you're not going to see it. Would enjoy doing a sew along. Oh, brilliant, yeah, would love a sew along. So what I'll do is let you have a think about it. You think what project you want to do. If you've already got the pattern, fantastic, just cut out some fabric. If you haven't got the pattern, I'll give you time to get it and get your fabric together, or use the fabrics on the kit, and then we'll arrange a date. So have a think about what sort of things you'd like to do. I'm putting piece D on here, because once you've bought them, they are patterns. Do them as many times as you want. Like I say, I've got loads of these now. I'm being good today. I'm putting it away so I'm not cutting myself. So find my tape, and this is C. I probably could remember, I've made that many, but I'll just show you how I would do it if I was you at home. Better late than never. Hiya, Bev. Right, all these bits of wadding I cut off and I stitch back together and use in other projects. I am a bit tight, you know. Front vinyl pocket. I think I've got them. I've got interfacings cut out. Right, this is my gusset, so I need 26 by 4 inch. That is my gusset piece. So I'm hoping if actually I might see if I've got enough to do it this way at the end, then I'm not having to cut into that, because like I say, I'm putting that back in. So see if it's long enough to do it from, no it's not. So I'm going to do it from this bit here. Then I'm not going too close to that. Yeah, that's the best place to do it. Like to be a bit economical with the fabric if I can. Listen to that sound. The other side. It's a shame my new ribbons haven't come. Did you lot know? I didn't. And this is Mark for you. He gets so interested in what I do, he looks at more things than I do. My sound isn't very loud today. What is everyone's like? How is your sound, everyone? Can you hear me okay, or do I need to shout? This is E, F, H, and that's I. My gusset piece is done, and is that it? Handles and everything. Yeah, that's it. So yeah, what about the ribbon? Did you know that it's fine, loud and clear? Maybe you've got something over your speaker, Margaret. Just have a look, see if you've not got anything on. Tula Pink does a range of ribbons that match. Mine's not loud either. I've put my headphones on. Mine's fine. Yours is low. Maybe you need to turn your actual iPads up, or your phones, whatever you're watching on. Yeah, Tula Pink does a range of ribbons that match these fabrics. I didn't know that, and Mark told me about them, and he tried to order me some for Christmas, and they were out of stock. Anyway, I've got some coming. He ordered me some other day. So I have got some ribbon coming. I didn't know they did it. I just thought, when Mark told me, I was like, really? I think it's a fantastic idea to do ribbons to match. Anyway, I've got some coming, so I'll show you them when they come. Right, so I think I've cut everything I need out of the quilted fabric. I can cut all that off now because the bits I need to go back in are attached to the other piece. So that's going to be spare for another project. I'm going to clear my desk so I can actually come back to the desk to do any bits and pieces that I need to do. I've got that there if I need it. So I've got all my pieces here, and then we can start the construction, hopefully. So I'll take these to my table and I will move you across here. Just move that fabric out of the way. Apologies for moving you around. I found a bit on the floor. I think that's my strap. Right. So we're now at my banana. I was doing free motion yesterday, so I just need to. I might change my needle. I might be good. Give it a bit of a maintenance check. Get rid of all the fluff and everything else. I oil my machine every day, because I use it every day, and these machines are very, very thirsty machines. So I'm just going to give it a little bit of oil. I always find my iPad better than my laptop. We'll check out later. Right, so I'm just putting some oil in. I just put about 4 or 5 drops in. Just keeps it running nice. My foot on. I'll turn the lights off because I know it's very bright for you. Right, we're in business. Coffee. Ah, I needed that. Right, I'm just going to put my table up. I'm just going to move you a little bit over so you can see a bit better, hopefully. What's that like? Oh, it's very bright. Will it adjust? Let's hope it's going to adjust. Very bright. I haven't got any other lights on. I'll tell you what, let's see if I turned that light off. It helps. I put the one on the other side of the room on. Turn that one off. Is that better? Oh, that's better. Oh, is it? Maybe it'll settle down. Have you put oil in the shuttle case? No, I did that yesterday, so it's fine for today. Oh, thank you, Joyce. I do try to think about all the different aspects of it. Just let my iron get warm. Now, I could use my Easy Press for doing the fusible interfacings and things, but most of us don't have one, so I'm not going to do that. Also, I've decided to use my I'm just wondering if it's that other. I've got my studio lights on. Let's see if that makes a difference. If I turn that off, it does look very bright. I'll be sewing it dark soon. That's better. Well, my studio lights, right. So I've got my vinyls and my interfacing. Oh, by the way, this interfacing has also gone on the website. This is the extra stiff, and a few people have been asking for it. It comes. It might be just adjusting to me coming into picture. So this is the extra stiff interfacing that I use for the retreat notebook and for the WIP storage bags. What gives it that rigidity? So this is now on the website if people are wanting to make more. You could use Decaville, but Decaville's a lot more expensive than this. Right, brilliant. So I'll just put them Actually, I'm going to fuse them, so I need them out. Put my vinyls to the side, and I'm ready to go. Yeah, I've decided to use this bright binding instead of making the binding to match, which it tells you in the pattern. So if it's up to you, I wanted to use this because it's going to match my retreat notebook. So what do I tell you to do first? It's a while since I've made one of these. Going to start with the binding. I'm not, because I'm going to make my own. So open out the 2-inch straps and done all that. Zip. So we're going to do the gusset, I think, first. There. So I need to get my zip out. Where did I put my zip? Put it here. And I need to put on double sliders on this because it's going to open from the middle out. So I'm not going to use my besties on that bit. I'll use them on the front. Will I? Yes, I will. So I'm going to put on these, not them, these prim ones. These are just gold ones. Which do look nice, so I'm going to put them on. I did have a look at that zipper station that you were on about, Sarah. It looks really good. I've got an order part made, so I will be placing an order for some more very soon. Right, so I'm going to put, oh, I need to put that onto a pillar, don't I? And that isn't a puller, that's just the tab. So I still need to get one out. Where are they all? I might have to put some fancy ones on. Because I've got my fancy ones here, so I'm going to have to put them on. I don't know what I've done with my other bits. So not to worry, I'm going to move that down. And I'm going to put some fancy ones on. Don't use your best scissors for cutting your zips. Right, so for doing the zip pulls, I'm just going to trim 1 centimetre off one side. I've shown you this lots of times, and have the other bit. Will your new fabric be going on the website? Yes, they're on the website already, Joyce. Mark's already put those on. Right, so I'm going to use these florally ones. So I'm going to put one on from this side with the round end on first, and then the other one I need to put on from the other side because I want them to meet in the middle. So it needs to be 26 inches. So I've got a tape measure on my desk. So I'm going to cut it 28, so I know I've got plenty. Trim that down. Trim a little bit off. Cut the tape off the opposite side and put the other one on from the round end so they will both meet in the centre, and hopefully they will join without any problem. Like so. Except I've got one on one side and one on the other side. Oh no, I haven't. Oh, you silly sausage. Pull it through. So that's the zip meeting in the middle. Right, so now I can get rid of the zip. Do you know, when I've done my Facebook Lives, my room looks like a bomb's dropped. Zipper foot. Ready? I've got grey thread. Grey will be fine. It's a very pale grey. Move my needle to the side. and find my gusset pieces, which are these here. So I'm going to take the what should I call it off? The what do you call it? Tape. Has that one got any on? Nope, that's not got any on. So what I need to do is I need to cut the piece in half down the length because the zip's going down the middle. So I'm just going to do it by eye rather than take you back over to the cutting table. I have got a little cutting mat on my table, but this will be fine. So I'm cutting this down the length. I've got the lining fabric together as well. There we go. So now we've got those in two pieces. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my zip. I'm going to clip these out of the way because I don't want them to get caught in my foot. So I'm going to see if I can clip them out of the way onto that side there. See if that works. Right, so what I'm going to do first of all is take one piece, put the zip, sorry you can't see that, right sides together with the fabric. And now this is up to you. You can either stitch that down first or you can put the other piece on top and stitch them both at the same time. I would advise doing them separate just to make it easier on yourself. So I'm going to stitch in the middle of the zipper tape with my zipper foot, and I'm on just a normal stitch length of 2.5. I'm going to turn it down just a little to 2.1 just to make it really strong. I'll put my walking foot on. Machine's on slow from my free motion. So I'm just stitching all the way along the length of that gusset. I bet I'm going to run out of this fabric soon. I've used that much of it. So when you've done that, you're going to take the other piece, the lining piece, and place that on top. And that is going to sandwich that zipper in between. So we're just going to place that directly on top. And if you stitch from the other side, you can see the row of stitches that you did previously. So that's going to help you know where to stitch. So you're not going to have any stitches showing. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to set it back up a little bit now because we've already got one row of stitches in. And zip down the length, keeping all those row edges together. Oh, zip down the length, can you get it? Just be careful when you get to where the pullers are because you don't want to catch those. I have clipped them out of the way so we'll be a bit safer. So now when you open that up, and you can press it if you want, open that up, and I'm going to stitch, top stitch down here to make sure that that doesn't fold back and get caught in the zip. So I'm going to turn my stitch length up. Got it about 3.5, and I'm going to top stitch down here. So if you wanted to and you don't mind taking your time, you could pin or clip all this together and then just stitch down. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull it so that I know that there's nothing getting caught and just top stitch. I'm going about 1/4 of an inch away from the zip. Have you had any thoughts about what project you'd like to do as a sew along? That's one side done. Now I repeat exactly the same at the other side. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take that clip off that was holding those zip pulls, and I'm going to see if I can clip it from the other side. I can actually if I use the bigger, you know, these bigger clips. I don't really like them, but for something like this it'd probably be good. So I'm going to clip those out of the way. I think it would make a dreadful noise if that got caught in there. Right, so what I'm doing is I'm putting the other side on top, right side down against the right side of the zip, making sure that all these are level. And I'm going to go turn my needle back, my stitch length back down to 2.4, round about there, and I'm going to stitch all the way down that length again. I used to keep all my best fabrics and just look at them every now and again, but I realised when I started using them that by doing this it was a really nice way of being able to see your fabrics every day and actually using them. Take that out. So now I take the lining part. A sweatshirt would be fun. Yeah, we can do a sweatshirt. So what, I mean, I make my own sweatshirt pattern, so if you want to have a look around and see if there's any sweatshirt patterns around that are like nice but not too expensive for people, and let us know. Then if people want to get hold of them, they can do, or I could show you how to make your own pattern. Right, I'm doing exactly the same as I did before, following the line of the stitches with the lining at the other side of the zip, so the zip sandwiched in between. I'm just going down the length. I think what Mark had in mind was one of my patterns, so that a lot of people would already have them. But we could do both, that's not a problem at all. I think lockdown's going to be on for quite a few weeks yet. Show how to make your own would be good. How to make your own would be good. Yeah, no problem, I can do that. Right, so what I'm going to do now is open that out as we did with the other side, pull the lining and the top taut, and we're going to top stitch down here. Right, that sounds like a good idea. Everybody's saying yes to that. I'm putting my stitch length back up to 3.5, and I am going to top stitch at the other side to keep all those level, all those pieces of fabric out of the zip. So this is the gusset more or less done. I think for this one I'm not going to put in the magnetic clips. I think I'm going to put the insert in, but I'm not going to put it in with the clips, so it'll save a little bit of time on making it. Plus I've got 5 with those in anyway, so because what I would have to do now is I would have to make the strap to put the magnetic clasps on, and then put that in between. So I'm not going to do that, so I'm just going to cut these level. And get my back gusset done. So bear in mind, if you're following this and you've got the pattern, you will still need to look up what I've done in the pattern, because this is a modified version, let's say. Right, so now I've got my back gusset pieces here. I've got my quilted one and my lining one. Rainbows, it looks good. It does, doesn't it? It's, oh, I love it. Absolutely love it. Especially with the rainbow hardware. Yes, this is going to be my favourite one, I think. So what I need to do now is, because I'm not putting those clasps in, I'm going to put the gusset part directly on top. And because this is only short, I'm going to put the back on at the same time. Sandwiching the gusset in between, and I'm going to stitch across there. So I'm going to put my stitch length back down to a 2.5. I don't need my zipper foot on at the moment, so I'm going to take that off. I will need it back on for the front, but don't need it now. And I'm going to stitch across there. I should have changed my needle. Do you know that needle been in there so long? Right, so that's one side. When I pull these up, that is going to cover up. It's going a bit bright again. See if I can get it better. It's a bit better, yeah. So that's going to cover up the raw edges on that side and also on that side, because the raw edges are in between. So now what I need to do is, it's what we call a burrito. I'm going to take the one end of the gusset and the other end and put that together. Take this piece, the lining, fold all the other bits up, hold them inside and put the lining on there. So you can see all those are inside. If you write out instructions to buy on your website, we could buy the pattern from you and make it alongside you. I'll have to think about that, Mary, because everybody's going to be different sizes. So I don't really want to do clothing patterns as yet. But if you've got a sweatshirt that fits you, get that out, get your fabric, get your rib, and that's all you'll need if you're just making a bog standard sweatshirt. I can show you afterwards how to adapt them to make into a hoodie, because Mark's wanted some new hoodies. That is now the round of the bag. Right, so the handle, this is why I was saying it's a shame that my webbing hadn't come, my ribbon hadn't come, which matched this range of fabric. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put some rainbow mesh, it's not rainbow mesh, some rainbow webbing for the handle, but I'm going to use this ribbon because she does like a dot, so I'm going to use the black and white on this ribbon, and I think I'm going to use this floral one here just to jazz up the ribbon. If I can get it open. I can hardly see in here now, it's that dark in here. I've got some paper scissors here. So these are just craft ribbons, but they'll be fine. So yeah, I like that floral one there. So I'm going to use that. I'm hoping you get enough on this. So what I'm going to do is cut my length for my ribbon. It's about 10, I think. I'm going to lay the ribbon down the middle and stitch that on. And I would love to see how you make your own pattern. Would also like to sew along with your project bags to organise sewing goodies. Yeah. Well, I think we're going to get quite a few weeks of lockdown like this. So I think if we can all get together and learn something with us, you know, amongst ourselves, then that'd be brilliant. And I'm happy for that. So I'm just going to place that down the centre, and I'm going to stitch with a 2.5. You can see where I'm stitching. So that's what we'll do next Friday. I'll show you how to make a pattern, and I will make mine up. But if you've got some sweatshirting that you like, and you're all right doing it alongside me, or you can just watch and then do it afterwards, watch the video again. So that's one side, so I'm just going to put another row down the opposite side. So that's the handle. There's some YouTube videos on the rulers. Yeah, there is some YouTube videos, I think, on the rulers, definitely. Right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to find the middle. So I'm going to sew my handle on. It's about there. I'm going to put a pin on each side so I know where the middle is. So what I'm doing is I'm just lining up the two seams there on the bottom. You could use either, Joyce. If you're wanting French terry, that's absolutely fine. I've got sweatshirting. I think I might have some French terry in as well. But whichever you prefer. I'm going to move these zips out of the way. So I'm going to put one on that side and that further down. So I've now got the middle marked. I'm going to find the middle of my strap. And to stop this from fraying, what I'm going to do is I'm going to place it on, and I'm going to cover it over with some of that ribbon. So that's the middle there. So I'm going to put it to the side of the zip. I'm going to sew a square to make sure it's nice and strong. I'll show you it when I've done it. And then in the square I do a cross in the centre of it. So back across the bottom, and then do another another diagonal. You can see on the back bit, you can't even forget that. There you go. So I've done a square and then a cross in the middle. You're going to need about 1.5 meters, depending on your size. I'd say 1 meter for the body and 0.5 meter for the sleeves. So at least 1.5 meters. Hi, Mum. Will be sufficient. Right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut a bit of this ribbon, and I'm going to use this to cover over the ends of that strap, folding the raw ends in, and that's just going to stop that from fraying. So I'm just going to fold a little bit in. In fact, why don't we use some glue? Roxanne's glue is a brilliant basting glue. So if I put a dab, oops, that's a big of a dab on there. Cover that in. You only need a tiny dab, and I've put a massive big blob on there. And then a bit on the other side, so just so it's going to be long enough, just to hold it while that hold it? I know you've got to press it with this. So cut off some excess. Put a little bit of glue on the other side. We'll press it. Valerie, you were asking about the iron, the Aliso iron. I will tell you that I absolutely love it. I don't know if you ordered one, but I do love it. I find that it's very easy for doing fiddly things because of the shape. So just letting you know, yes, I do think it's a good addition to the sewing room. And this is one of those fiddly things that I think it is very good at doing. Right, so you can see now I've turned over both ends and I'm going to cover that up on there. So that's just going to make sure that nothing frays on that. And do the same on the other side. We've got a lovely bright strap on our bag then. So there we go, that is the strap end covered in. I need to sew the other end in. I'll just trim off all the excess. Sorry about the zip ends clattering. So leave whatever lift you want on your bag. I think that's about enough. And do exactly the same, do a square and then do a cross in the middle. By doing this, you know that you're going to get a really lovely, strong strip on your bag. Mark's just saying how dark it is. It's got to be dark because the lights on this machine are so bright. I have to turn all the lights off now, and it's still really bright on screen.
Okay, fair enough.
Right, so that's the handle done. I just need to cover up the other end, which I may do afterwards. No problem about you being late, Cheryl. It is not a problem at all. You're not late. You can join any time. You can watch it back whenever you want. Right, so you can see now the bag is taking shape. That is the gusset and the handle done. And I'm really liking it, I've got to say. Right, so I haven't followed my pattern at all yet, have I? So why start now? Right, so the next things I'm going to do is some fusing, I think. You know, I've got bits of masking tape stuck to everything. So this piece, I think, is the zip cover. I don't, do you know what? I should follow my own pattern, shouldn't I, sometimes? It might help me. That's the back. I know that much. So what I'm going to do with that is place the back lining on there, and I need to round off these corners. So I don't know how you all do it at home, but I'm going to show you how I do it. I like to use a little tool I have. Just move my... Let me get myself back organised again. I can't seem to read my pattern anyway, it's that dark in here. That's my vinyl, that's for my the front of my bag. I've got some pieces missing. Oh, they're on the table, I think. Let me go and get all my bits. Right, this is what I like to use for doing my corners, my rounded corners. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to choose the 3-inch one, I think, and all you do is line that up on that edge there and that edge there, and then just cut it round with your rotary cutter. Couldn't be easier. So I'm going to round those off because it's a nice rounded edge. And I do like to use a smaller rotary cutter for this. So I've got a 28mm here. I'm doing both at the same time, so I've got my lining in there as well. This is a rotating cutting mat. So I can just rotate that round, place it on the next corner. Cut, round again onto the next one. That's done. And then so now we have our rounded off corners. So that's the back of the bag done. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to quickly stitch around these because it's a bound bag. It is a bound bag, I'm just checking. So I'm just going to quickly stitch around these with quite a big stitch length just to hold them together. Make sure I don't stitch anything else to it. Do you know what? If one of you were here, you could do me a favour and clip this into my bag. But you're not here, so you can't. What do you think to this time then for future ones? My thinking was it's not going to interfere with kids' dinners and your own dinners. So I thought time-wise, I thought 3 o'clock in the afternoon, you're getting, you know, you've done what you need to do, but you're ready for a sit down and a little stitch. Oh, do you know what? I could have put that just that little bit further over and it would have been a bit more central. But it's not too bad. Right, so what I need to do is half my back, and I'm just going to take an air erasable pen, mark halfway on both sides, half it the other way, and mark those edges. So we've now quartered it. I can do the same with my main bag. So this is the back and I want my handle to the back. So I might take a pin actually because it disappears very quickly with that air erasable pen. Pop a pin at the top. Put the top and the bottom pins together and then mark the sides, and then I can pin or clip my gusset to that. So I prefer pins usually, clips sorry usually. So I've got a little basket of clips here. I'm going to start clipping that. Now I don't clip it right sides together, I clip it wrong sides together because we're going to have a bound edge on the outside. So find that mark on there, put the first one on, take the pin out, then I don't stab myself with it again. So same at the top, find your mark, it's disappeared already. Put the pin to the mark, that's gone, and clip. Same at the sides, if you've got any marks left, just a little bit. And clip. And the last one, just about see it. Put my clip on there. So all you need to do now is stitch all the way around, easing those in as you go. I'm not going to clip any more, and I'm going to stitch those in place. If you're in any doubt, what you can do is stitch it with a big stitch length till you've got it all fitted in, and then go around it with a smaller one. But I can see it's going to fit in no problem, so I'm going to put it smaller. But if you're new to it, something like this, putting a gusset around the back can be quite daunting. Didn't know you were on. Oh, sorry, Sandy. Is the pattern kit for this on your website? It is, Kathleen. Somebody else was asking, am I going to be doing the Bobby card wallet as a pattern only? I will be. I'm still going to put those measurements on site. I will try and get, while I'm not working on a Chanda, my patterns all done as a pattern as well. Ideally, I would like to have them done as PDFs, but me and Mark aren't that technical, so we're not the best at doing stuff like that. But we would like to, and we will probably try and look into it a bit more so that you can get them instantly. So I've put the gusset down, I've got my back on the top, and I'm just stitching all that into place. I love this pattern. I think this is one of my favourite patterns that I've designed so far. I can judge it by how many I've got, and this is my 6th for myself. Easing it around those corners. Rounding the corners makes it a lot easier to fit. And I find with a bound edge, you're going round 3 or 4 times, so it makes it really strong. If you put your hand on the inside as well, you can make sure you're not going to catch anything else in. Yes, Sandy, I decided on Tuesday night that because it's lockdown and I've not got any Chanda shows in January, I was going to do an extra Facebook Live, but it weren't going to be a what's on my work desk, so that's why I'm on. It's just doing some of my kits and whatever people want me to do, basically. So if you've got any kits that you're wanting me to show you how to do anything in it, or people have been on about a sweatshirt, because we've got some new sweatshirting in, I'm going to be doing that next Friday. So just coming around the last corner now. There we go. And now you can see the case has really taken shape. We've got the gusset in there, we've got the inside done with no exposed seams whatsoever. I'm going to move these zips up the top to stop them clanking. So for this part of the bag, all I need to do now is the front. So I'm going to take that pin out of the way, then I don't stab myself. So I'm really pleased with it so far. That's the back. It would have been lovely if those 2 peacocks would have been a bit more central, but hey ho. Right, so I'm just going to find my piece for the front, which this is one of the pieces, and that is the lining piece, and the longer one is for the insert. So, oh, thank you, Heather. So what I need to do now is I need to fuse the interfacing onto this. So I will take you over to the iron so you can see. What I'll do is I'll take my knee lift out so I don't knock my machine. I'll turn round and I'll move you over this way so that you can see the pressing. I have got the easy press, which is here, and that's the 9. In fact, it's been on TV today. Just move some of my other work out of the way, so I'll show you it. But by doing it with this, if you have one of these, I can't lift it right up because it's but you can see the base of it. It's a 9x9 inch plate. You can buy Adobe, which converts any file into PDF. Oh, thank you, Lynn. Oh, we'll have to look into that. So yeah, I could do it with that, but most of you haven't got one, so I'm just going to use my normal iron. I'm just going to get it up to temperature. So I've got my interfacing cut out and put the cover back on my little press. It makes it a lot easier to use the press because it's got no air holes in it. So I'm just going to warm up my fabric. Now the interfacing has got a shiny side and a matte side. It's the shiny side that goes toward the wrong side of your fabric, and you need to hold your iron on there for about 10 seconds on each place. I'm just moving it down slightly. You're always better off doing a little bit more than you think. You don't want it coming apart afterwards. You want it to be well fused. Just turn the steam off. I didn't realise the steam went on. So just move that down a little bit. This is the big one that goes on the inside. It is quite a lengthy procedure, but you are better off making sure it's done properly. I do think it's a bit quicker with the press. So now you can see which interface needs to be in stock. Yes, Kathleen, this is the extra stiff interfacing, and it's really, really rigid, which is what you need for a project like this. It's, I think it's 36 wide, something like that. But you only need a small piece. Like this is the piece for the front of the bag. It's only 8x10, and this is going to go onto this piece here. But it really makes a difference in the project. It's like I said, you could use Decaville, but Decaville's 4 times the price of this. And this does the job lovely. Just warm my fabric up. Place the interfacing shiny side down against the back of the fabric and fuse. Just turned it over to make sure it's fused from the other side as well. Oh, we're on about the other Tula Pink fabric, weren't I? Have you been online and looked at what's coming out by Tula Pink? As a newbie to sewing, can you explain and make the makeup bag? I think I'll have a go. Oh, right, the makeup of the bag, sorry, yeah. Oh, thank you. Do you know what? It's not difficult. It's really not. And this is a bag that you're going to use and use and use. Right, so I've got a bit of interfacing joined there. I'm just going to trim that off. yeah, it's Curiouser and Curiouser, Tulip Pink's new range. Oh my word, it is gorgeous. I have got over £200 worth on order. It's coming in May. Right, that's the bag. Right, so what I need to do with these is I need to round the corners, but it's also going to have a lining on this side as well, because obviously we don't want to be looking at that. So this one has got it, and that is the back of that one, so I'm just going to press that. And I don't think I cut out the piece for that, did I? Let's have a look. I may have done. Oh, I nearly did. I've got a piece here that I can do. Because this one's going to be showing inside as well with the vinyl, I'm going to do the same fabric on both sides. I'll just bring you back around here. Finish with the iron. Right, so I'm going to trim this down. I might use my scissors because move that out of the way. Don't need that now. Yeah, I'm just going to trim that down with my scissors. I can't keep taking you over to the cutting table. I don't want to knock you around. Right, so trim off the selvage. And what I need to do for these now is I need to round the corners. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to place both pieces together and do exactly the same as I did before. So this is the Duro Edge circle cut, and this is what gives you that lovely rounded shape. I'm going through a few layers, so I'm going to have to go over it a few times. One side. Oops, that's a bit too big, that one. It's the number 3 I used. It also makes it a bit easier for binding when you've got a rounded edge. You might think it'd be harder, but you haven't got to miter it then. So on this side, do the same, do the 3-inch curve. And then just 2 more on the smaller piece. So that's the big one done. Gives you lovely, neat edges. That is the smaller one done. So that is my vinyl. I've chose the sparkly vinyl for this one, and that's going to go on the front. So I now need a piece of fabric for the top, which I'm sure I've cut. That's not it. That will be it. Do you know, I end up with such a mess. Is everybody else same as me? Just put my knee lift back in. Can't work without my knee lift. I have little basket bowls for all my scraps, but I end up just chucking them everywhere. Right, I'm going to press this. Am I going to press this in half? No, I don't need to. Yeah, I am. I'm going to press this in half. I'm not following my pattern at all, so I'll probably tell you to do it a different way in the pattern. That's going to be the top of the zip. So what I need to do is get some more zip. I don't think I've got any more of the what thingy ones, so I might have to just put a gold one on this bit. Right, so zip a foot back on. Can you see all right? Yeah. Move my needle across, otherwise we'll have an almighty crash. Right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it face down onto the vinyl and stitch. I'm not changing my needle or anything for the vinyl. I'm just putting the edges of the vinyl and the zipper tape together, which is quite hard to see in this light. I could try doing my videos on my Janome. The lights aren't as bright on there. So take that out. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to fold the vinyl to the back, and I'm going to top stitch from the back this time, right on the edge of the zipper tape, making sure that the puller's not in the way. Remember, you can't press the vinyl, not direct anyway. You could put a cloth underneath it. Right, so that's given me a nice 1/4 of an inch stitch away. So I'm going to take the folded edge of the piece that I've just cut, just pressed, and I'm going to top stitch that on against the zip tape. I'm going to stitch it right close to the edge, and then I'm going to stitch it 1/4 of an inch away again. So I'm just going to up the stitch length on that a little bit. So now I'm going to stitch 1/4 of an inch away again. Pull my zipper pull out of the way. I'm going to change my needle after this project. There's my zip scissors, there they are. Let's cut that off. So that's my front portion. So now what I need to do is stitch all that on the oh, thank you, Marilyn. Stitch all that onto there. I'm just going to trim the edges of this to match. So all I'm going to do is get my scissors. I want that a bit lower down, so I'm going to clip. Not my big clips, I don't like the big clips on here. And I'm just going to follow that line to trim that to match. And then that's just ready for putting onto the front of the bag. Right, now at the top I'm going to turn it over so I can see from the front, and I'm just going to trim the excess off here. And at this side. So I want to trim it all to, I have to put it down to do it. I want to clip it all to the front of the bag and then bind it in place. So I'll just make sure that those two zip teeth are together there, and then I can trim around the edge of that. Oops, zip scissors. Don't want to ruin my good scissors. So now I'm just going to stitch all the way around to hold all those layers together. I don't know if this is how I tell you to do it in the pattern. I've got quite a big stitch length on at the moment, so that's fine. Move the zipper pull out of the way, making sure the teeth are together. Go over those. It does stitch okay over the teeth. There's not a problem with that. There we go. So that is the zipper front bag done. Hi Yvonne. That just... Oh, I wanted to do it on the other side so the blue weren't showing. Never mind, it'll give a contrast. I wanted the blue on the inside. Right, so what I need to do now is what I did with the other one when I halved it. I need to do that. So I'm just going to fold this in half. And I'm going to put a clip on this time because I don't want to have pins stuck in me. Same at the bottom. And then at the sides. And the other side. So that is my front quartered. Do the same with the back. Put a clip. That's still the middle, so I don't need one there. Put those two together and find the centres of the back. Oops, pulled it off now. That's no good, is it? There we go. And then, as we did before, we're going to clip the bag. Making sure all the edges are together. Same at the side. And then at the top. And then we're going to stitch all the way around there to catch all that in. So I'm going to start at the bottom and I'm going to put the gusset down this time. So I'm going to stitch through all the layers now along here, going all the way around the back. Just make sure you're catching all that lining in from the inside of the bag. Actually, I'm going to change my foot. I don't want my zipper foot on for this. I can do it one-handed while I hold. That's it. There we go. Right, so I'm just going to catch this in now. It's on quite a big stitch length. So I'm going to go around first to make sure I get all the bits in. Open up the bag so I can put my hand inside, make it easy for myself. I can see if all the edges are together now. I've got my walking foot on. That just helps because we've got a lot of layers now that we're going through, and we've got the vinyl as well on there. Take off the clips as you go, making sure the edges are all level. This is one of the bits where you want to take your time. I know you can't see very well, but I will hold it up when I've got round. and then I'll go back in with a smaller stitch length. Well, I'm saying that, I'm going to be piping it, so I don't really need to. I can just put a smaller stitch length on the piping. So just bringing it around the corners, or curves of the corners. I love how useful these bags are. Zipping along the top bit. Don't know why my, oh, I do know why my needle's at that edge. Because it was the zipper foot that was on the last side. To be able to put my hand inside, so I'm just going to open that zip up really wide. Get my hand in. You have to be a contortionist sometimes when you're sewing. Keeping your edges together. Always stop with your needle down so it's going to hold the position of your fabrics for you. Coming around the final curve. I've got a bit of fabric loose on the inside that I need to ease in, so I may just unpick a little bit of that so I can ease it in a bit longer. I think the best way to do it, Tom, if you're quite a newbie, is to lots and lots of clips. That's it, it's better. Check that out, and I can see I've got, oh, I've missed that lining. So I just need to pick that bit and get the lining tucked back under in there. But that is the shape of the bag. So just let me do that. My linings come loose. That's why you do it in a big stitch first if you're not sure. I think I may do it the other way as well. Put the front side down and then put the gusset on top. That might be a bit easier to do. Oh, we've been on an hour and a half. I knew it would be a bit longer because of the chat as well. Right, so I'm going to do it from there. Just a little bit more, I think. Make sure I get it all in. Yeah, so this time I'm going to do it this side. Actually, I'm going to pick a bit more around that corner. Make it easy for yourself, Ali. Give myself a bit longer run to ease it in. There we go. Right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the front on the bottom and ease it in from the top. And it should fare a little bit better because I can pull my lining out then without having to put my hand inside. I won't leave my lining inside then. Good. Pulling my lining straight, that's where the mistake was before. Yeah, it's a bit easier to ease it in from this side. Just want to make sure I catch all that lining in. I don't want it flopping about on the inside. Coming up to the final corner or curve. There we go. That's better. Right, so that is the bag. With the zip on the front, so you can display your whatever your kit's going to be in there. Open it out from both sides. We've got your lovely lining on the inside. So I've just got to do the piping on this now. Sorry, the binding on this. And then I have got my middle bit to do, which is exactly the same as this, but we've got one on each end. So I'm not going to show you that, but I will show you the binding. Clear a bit of space. Yeah, so I'm going to use this lovely sparkly binding. You're a bit late, Jill, but you'll be able to watch it back. I will put it on Facebook and YouTube, so don't worry. I'm just going to change my thread to a purple. Oh, I didn't realise I'd got a little light inside me bobbin case. Oh, look at that for bobbin roulette. That's all that were left. I'll get a purple one. Does anybody else play bobbin chicken? See how far you can go without changing your bobbin. Right, put a fresh bobbin in and a purple one. That's not in properly. Sometimes you can just tell when they're not in properly. I think that's it. Take my thread off. Purple one up here, that'll do. I usually use Aurifil, as you know, but I've been using these coats ones up. Always cut your thread off and pull it through the way it would run through your machine. Don't want to pull bits inside. Thank God I've got a needle threader on, because I won't be able to thread it without. Right, so what I'm going to do now is, I do like to finish these off by hand. So I'm going to stitch it on one side here, and then I fold it over and finish it off by hand stitching. So I'm just going to fold over a little bit at the beginning, open the binding out, and I'm going to stitch along this seam here. Is there a pattern? There is a pattern. I apologize, yeah, bobbin roulette all the time. You can't waste thread, it costs too much. Yes, Helen, this is the WIP storage bag, WIP, meaning work in progress. So I'm just going to pop that onto the line of stitching here, and then get this stitched around. Open out the binding. I've got my walking foot on. You really do need to have your walking foot on for this. So just a normal 2.5 stitch, opening out the binding as we go. So again, this is going to add a little bit more reinforcement to the bag. Got a black lining inside this binding, I can't see a thing. So we're hoping and praying that we're catching everything. On the corner. So this is going to have a binding round the front of the bag and the back. Make sure your zip pullers are out of the way. Just going over the zip teeth now, so go a little bit slower. Where's my... There it is. There's my that. I want to have my stiletto. I like to use this when I'm doing binding. It just gives you an extra pair of hands or an extra finger to hold things without risk of your hand going under the machine, which is never good. Bobbin roulette. I'm gonna have to have a drink. It's just water, I promise. Going along the top now. Yes, I think this one is available as just a pattern if you don't want to buy the kit. But definitely get the pattern if you're not buying the kit, because it is a fabulous bag for storing all your work in progresses, all your kits that you've yet to start. You're keeping everything together. That's better. You can see a bit better now. So coming up to the final curve. As I said before, stop with your make sure your machine stops with your needle down if you have that function on your machine, because it makes it so much easier for you. Coming round the corner. Just going to undo that, make sure I've got everything caught in on the inside. Yes, I think so. There we go. So I'm just going to cut off the end of that binding there before it all unravels. Now what you need to do is pull the binding back and get some clips and hand sew the binding in place, and then your bag is finished and you can start filling it up with all your projects. Just pull it back so you can see what it's going to look like. You don't want to sit and watch me do all my hand sewing, I'm sure. In the pattern, I actually tell you to make your own binding with your fabrics, but I wanted this one to match my retreat notebook, because I'm looking forward to going back to some sewing retreats and things in the near future that way. So that is the matching one, and I wanted the binding to match. So this is what the bag looks like. We've got the handle with the bit of ribbon on, and I've still got to do the back, which I will do that later on. So that is the back of the bag. It's going to have the purple all around there. Thank you, Heather. That is the front with the rainbow zip on there, and when this is all stitched, that will be my bag, the gusset, as you can see, and then the base. So it's quite a roomy size bag, and you can get quite a bit in there. Inside it's all covered up. All the seams are covered up nicely inside. Thank you, Joyce. I love the colours on this as well. This is the Chula Pink line work. And obviously I've still got to make the insert, which I will show you on the next one. So this is going to fold up and make another little bag that has got 2 zipper pockets, one on each end. Thank you, Valerie. I'm going to enjoy having these together. So if you see me at any retreats, you may see these bags. Right, so I'm going to see you on Tuesday, and any requests for anything, let me know. Next Friday we're going to do the pattern for the sweatshirt, I'll talk about that again on Tuesday. Thank you, Sarah, you're very welcome. But I'm going to go and get some dinner because I'm a bit hungry now, and I will catch you all on Tuesday night at 7. So take care, everyone. Thanks for watching. Bye.